Hi muckers and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having the best day ever. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and on my channel today. You know I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. And we are almost done the Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star first series that they ever made together. So I know a lot of people have been asking if we're going to be doing the conspiracy series after this. We are. We're just going to be doing a little in-between series as well from Shane, so we're not just doing like one continuous Shane and Jeffree, because that's a lot for you and it's certainly a lot for me going through and watching these. But yeah, we are only 2 episodes left of the Shane Jeffree series, and this one was very interesting. And this is one of the issues that I am bringing up whenever I criticize like Shane's series, that they're always like very unprofessional. And if you're just gonna call it like a vlog, I have no problem with you, making jokes or being a little bit unprofessional. But whenever it comes to you saying that these are like documentaries and series and stuff, and then you include you being very like sexually forward with your employees and making weird sex jokes to your friends on camera and fat shaming your friends, it's like a very weird line of like what's documentary and what's like you just doing a stupid vlog. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But anyway, the second last episode is actually called The Secret Life of Jeffree Star. So we're just going to get to the notes and go through it. So let's go. The video begins with Jeffree Star and Shane sitting on a bed while Jeffree is in tears, like full-blown tears. Never seen Jeffree cry before, but full-blown tears. And Shane is shocked at something he has said and keeps reiterating, like, you've never said this before. And Jeffree responds, no, because I don't want people to use it against me. And then the video cuts to 6 hours earlier. How cinematic, Shane. So basically building up that eventually there's going to be this big moment where Jeffree is revealing this big, big, big secret. So then it goes on, and Shane says that he was planning on taking Jeffree on a journey of becoming Shane. And if you remember the previous episode that we just watched, at the end of it, Shane tells Jeffree to come dressed down, like dressed very humbly, because he's going to make Jeffree live a day in the life of Shane. And, Jeffree's going to see what Shane does every day, and it's going to be really interesting and really fun, and Jeffree's going to be humbled and all like that. However, Shane said that he completely changed what he was going to do, and instead he thought it would be more interesting to bring Jeffree down memory lane. And instead of making Jeffree, live the life of Shane, he's actually going to go and dive into Jeffree's past with him. So Jeffree arrives, and Jeffree said that he was also going to be taking Shane to the makeup lab. My chair's really fucking, like, farty today. This is not, oh my god, I'm like Dennis whenever he films a YouTube video bopping up and down. This is not me farting, by the way. This chair, I think, is on its last legs, because fuck me, is it making those farty noises. Oh my god, if it was me farting, though, that would be silly. That would be silly, you know what I mean? Little silly 5:20 in the morning activity. So, we go on, and Garrett enters. Thank God some entertainment is here, by the way, with Garrett. In the matching Gucci tracksuit that Jeffree and Shane were wearing the first couple episodes, and there is no limits to the amount of fat jokes that Shane is making about Garrett, from that he just looks fat, to the fact that Shane's sofa was red and Garrett in the tracksuit was red. He's saying that, Garrett is fatter than the sofa, and it's just like an influx of fat jokes, and these are something that really catch up with Shane whenever we get into Shane's, cancellation. A lot of people being like, wow, he really, like, used and abused his friends, right? There's, like, making jokes, but then there's, like, 20-minute long compilations of you just calling your friends fat. It's, like, very weird. So then Jeffree shows up in a head-to-toe expensive outfit, keeping in mind that he was told to dress humbly, and I don't find it funny or endearing that he still showed up in a really expensive Gucci outfit. Shoes really expensive, glasses really expensive, and Shane says to him how he literally told him to dress humble. Like, one day, dress humble. And Jeffree makes a joke that he thought Shane was joking and he would never actually do that, and it's just kind of, like, really weird. Like, we're being told to, like Jeffree and sympathize with Jeffree, and Jeffree's humble, but he can't even abide by the, like, one thing that, like, Shane's saying to, like, we're gonna have, like, a humble day, and he's making this joke about, I don't know how to be humble. How do you want us to respond to that? Like, how do you, please, be serious. You're being so unserious right now. Be serious. Come on. Oh my god. Side note, it's very funny how much Ryland is sucking up to Jeffree, by the way, and, like, following him around. It's very bizarre. He's literally, like, a little lapdog behind him. It's very obvious that Ryland, this was, like, the opening of Ryland being obsessed with, like, the LA culture, how much money they could make. And I don't want to jump ahead, but whenever Jeffree teases the idea to Shane about them making a makeup palette together, Ryland's like, yes, we'll make so much money and we'll do this and we'll do that. Very much so materialistic, but he's very much so like that when Jeffree's in the picture because he is following him around like he is Jeffree's assistant or one of those fucking yappy Pomeranians. Lordy, lordy, lord. So Jeffree starts by saying that they will be going to the lab, first of all, but he has really strict rules when it comes to the makeup lab, including not touching anything. Remember that. So Jeffree pulls Shane aside. Now this is one of the parts that made me really angry, actually. So Jeffree pulls Shane aside and says how sexy and hot he thinks Garrett is. And he says that he wants Garrett to fuck him. And tells Shane that if Garrett agrees to fuck him, he will pay his rent for a couple months. And this is just really fucking weird that this conversation happened and that it was included in the video and that you're literally bribing sex for money or sex for, you know, his rent will be paid, trying to do it. And a lot of accusations against Jeffree throughout the years. I don't know if you guys remember the Insider article. We're talking about similar things to that. And we have Jeffree now on the record saying that if Garrett fucks me because I think he's so sexy, I'll pay his rent for a couple months and I'll also give him a bunch of money. It's like, I didn't find it funny. I didn't find it endearing. I just thought it was fucking disgusting. And I'm gonna be honest, in the moment of me watching this series, I remember tweeting that and getting a lot of backlash. And now my opinions still stand the same with it. So then Jeffree leaves the room and Shane pulls Garrett aside and asks him if he wants to do it and Jeffree will pay his rent. And Ryland is begging Garrett to do it because Garrett will get so much money from it. And Garrett, by the way, is very clearly uncomfortable with this because he's making so many jokes about other things to distract from it and Shane's not picking up on that. And it's just really weird that you're even including this in your documentary about your friend literally being, like, harassed here. It's very uncomfortable and very fucking weird. So it's awkward to me then that Garrett and Jeffree are now sitting in the backseat of the car when they're driving to the makeup lab and Jeffree's like, you know, touching him and doing all this, and it's like Garrett has now just been told that you want to literally pay him for sex and now you're doing all this. It it just made me feel really, I was gonna cough but I started like laughing for some reason, you know, whenever it like tickles the back of your throat. I've lost my voice today, which is why my voice is gone, but it just made me feel really bizarre that this was allowed to happen, or even if it did, it became a part of the video where it's like, oh, Jeffree, you know, is gonna make Garrett rich if he sleeps with him, and then turns into this big, like, you know, they're gonna drop Nate, and, you know, Garrett's gonna be the new one. I didn't find it funny. I find it tacky. I find it uncomfortable. I find it embarrassing for Jeffree. It's just my opinion of it. So they all arrive at the factory, and they put their hair and beard masks on. So this was actually the first time, whenever I watched this back in 2018 for the first time, that I saw those industrial face masks that we all wore a couple of years ago for the first time. And I remember making note of them, being like, oh my god, wow, wow, it's really secure, and that's really, you know, like, keeping it all in. It's like, you know what I mean? And it's so funny then, not funny, but like, it's ironic is the word then, that it would only be a couple more years where that would be the standard of wearing them. By the way, I'm going on a plane in a bit, and I am going to be wearing a face mask. Is that weird? Because I feel that nobody's wearing face masks anymore, especially on planes for some reason. I'm going to wear a face mask on the plane for the rest of my life, let me tell you that. I wish it was the protocol to wear it beforehand. Anyways. So, then we go on, and the group gets shown Jeffree's palettes being created, start to finish, from the powder section to the actual, like, packaging section. And Garrett proceeds to dip his hands in a pot of untested makeup powder / like makeup liquid while nobody's looking except for Andrew filming him, and he puts it all over his cheeks, which again is the one thing they were told not to do. And as much as I like Garrett, I didn't find this endearing, I didn't find it funny, I find it reckless, I find it annoying, I find him irritating. I really did in this because he makes a big deal about rubbing it all over his face, and it's so secretive he can't do it, and there's like workers in the background, and it's like, who would get in trouble there if Garrett had an awful reaction to that untested makeup? It would be the workers. It would be Jeffree. As much as I don't like Jeffree, it wouldn't be put on him. He was told it for a reason. The workers would get in trouble for leaving that shit out even though you were not supposed to touch anything. It really made me not like Garrett at that part. I do like Garrett, and I was just defending him with something else, but he was really fucking annoying at that part, and it gets more annoying whenever Jeffree literally has to confront him and be like, why did you do that, and take that off now? It's the one thing I told you not to do. And it's also shocking to me how, when they're all speaking to Garrett, none of them are taking note of the fact that he literally has, like, huge red, like, almost like liquid eyeshadow or something, like, all over him. Like, I think they're all thinking that maybe he, like, took a palette that was, you know, brand new or something, but he's literally doing just, like, untested makeup, unregulated, whatever. So now they go into the business conference room, and Garrett confesses while laughing about what he's done, and Shane makes a joke that Garrett could sue Jeffree if something went wrong. And then Garrett starts, so funny, rubbing it all over his face, and again, it would be the workers who would get in trouble for that, and it really pissed me off. It was just really cringy. And then Jeffree doesn't take it as a joke. He says, I don't know what that pigment is. You have to take that off now. He's, like, calling for his assistants to get, like, makeup wipes. He's like, this is not funny. I don't know why you're doing that. Take it all off. And it was really, it was a bit of an awkward moment, but it needed to happen. And I was like, the one thing you were told not to fucking do was put your hands in untested makeup, touch things. But also, Garrett has now touched random ass makeup that people are going to get, and they don't know what pot he's, like, put his hands in, so someone will be getting the makeup that Garrett has rubbed all, like, it's, fuck me, grow up, Garrett. So anyway, the last thing that I want to say is, Jeffree says to Shane, has he ever considered making his own makeup? And here we go, the seed's planted, they're now talking about making their own makeup. Shane says, would it not be weird considering he never wears makeup? And Jeffree says no, because it's enough that he respects makeup, which is really weird. They're like, yeah, of course you can make a makeup palette. It doesn't matter that you've never worn makeup in your life. What matters is you respect the grind. Fuck me, if only it was that easy. Okay, so now I want to, ending off this video, I want to watch whenever the seed is being planted. So, we'll be aware whenever we watch the conspiracy series, this is the conversation they have, the first conversation on record, I guess, of what we're seeing, of them talking about making a palette together. Okay, so this is a big monumental moment.
Something like that. Like a makeup thing? Anything, yeah. Okay, here's the thing. Is this, like, real, or is this, like, a bit? Real. Like, actually me doing something, like a makeup thing? Why would here's the thing. Okay. I would love that, because that's so fun, and I actually really, like, love this shit. Yeah. But,
I actually really love this shit, says the man who, like, never wears makeup.
Like, would people think it was stupid or weird?
If you're gonna class that as being willing to be able to sell a palette, then we have different morals, babe.
That I was making makeup? Like, why is she doing that? He doesn't wear makeup. I don't think so. I mean, it's like because do you respect makeup? Like, you respect what, I mean, you see...
Jump scare! My goodness!
You see, like, what do you think about today? Like, when you went back to the factory. No, I watch makeup videos. Yeah. Like, when you see a product, I think a lot of consumers, they see it, they throw the box away, and they don't really appreciate it. Not that they have to. Right. I think because I'm the owner, I have way more personal feelings involved. But I think that's a whole process from the box, the barcode, to the, you know, the pan size and all that. It's a whole thing. So it's just so fun to be creative and get crazy. I just know that with your brain, you could make something, like, mind-blowing. Like, I could make, like, the packaging look like a tin of Diet root beer. Yes. And then when you open it... Yes, there could be anything. Yeah. Oh my god, wait. I'm just sitting like the conspiracy palette. Oh my god,
So the conspiracy palette, this is why I believe that they were having conversations behind the scenes as well. Because they're kind of jumping to conclusions of everything they do right now. It just kind of seems like how, what's the word I'm thinking? Convenient that they know exactly what they're going to do. Like, come on.
You can put all these symbols into the pan. Anything you want.
Oh my god, isn't that ironic? He already knows what all the pan's gonna look like. Yeah, they definitely have these conversations behind the scenes. That's what this series was. This series, like I said in the first episode, was to get Shane's audience on board with Jeffree, so then Jeffree's audience and Shane's audience would want to buy the palette.
Like silver and green? What? I said it. Wait, would anybody buy that? Okay, honestly. I'm ready to buy it, and... and this isn't even, like, for the video or whatever.
This isn't even for the video, he says, while telling Andrew to continue recording.
Isn't, like, planned or anything. Come on, ideas! Okay. Yeah. Sip on that, honey. Okay. You know, that's...
See how Rylan just copies everything that Jeffree does?
Ew, what the fuck is that? Unsweetened. Okay. Oh. So, maybe we should pitch then. Okay. Let's pitch a palette pitch. Oh, okay.
My goodness, how ironic. Now they're doing pitches.
Garrett, you're going first. Where do I present? So you have to know. You have to... Oh, shit. Hello. Hi. I have a quick idea I want to run past you. That's cool. Please come sit down. Great. Thank you so much. Yes. What do you want to talk about today? Oh, I want to talk about a palette for my client, Shane Dawson. This is a palette based off all the emotions that he feels in his life. Well, we don't have enough palettes. Okay. So one is like, you know, ooh, not doing great today. It's blue. Okay. I think it's very relatable. Okay. Great. The other is like fierce, which is rare. And it's that would be like more of like a limited edition moment.
Yeah, limited edition moment for sure.
Okay, perfect.
Another one that's called.
Alright, so it didn't last very long. Alright. Come on, Ryland. Your moment in the fucking big lights. Come on, give it to us, drama queen.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great.
So what's going on today?
So I was rummaging through the lab.
Okay.
And I had some ideas for my boyfriend, Shane Dawson.
Okay.
Now, I was thinking a 2-part palette.
Ooh.
What's bad is I feel like Ryland actually acts like this behind the scenes.
Okay.
The first has to do with Illuminati.
Ooh. Okay.
So it could be...
This is what we already decided.
What?
We gotta pitch a new one.
Yeah, this was already mine.
That's the actual product.
Well, that's...
Just, Ryland and Shane seem like such an interesting couple, don't they? The utmost respect for each other.
Are you ready for your next appointment?
My 12 o'clock's late. So annoying.
Come on in, 12 o'clock.
Hey.
I don't have much time.
Okay.
My palette.
Okay, let's talk about it. Didn't know we were doing a mukbang at the factory.
Ironic.
Right.
My mukbang palette. Okay.
Okay, so I heard you had an idea you wanted to pitch me or tell me about. Let me see if I can make it a reality.
Okay, I was thinking the palette would be in the shape of a pig. The face of a pig.
Okay.
So my face.
Which they ended up doing. It was the pigmer, the pig bag. So again, this is all stuff that they ended up doing. And you're telling me that they came up with this on the spot? Be real.
And maybe even a little crown. Now when you open it up.
I know, so I can't really log in with this.
No wait, in all seriousness though, what do you actually think? Like, what do people actually want? Do they want a joke? Like, do they want a pig face? Or do they actually want, like, something that looks like other makeup?
As someone that is a friend and a fan of your work, I'm going to tell you real man to man.
Yeah.
I think it would have to be actually, like, iconic and very you and not a joke.
Yeah.
Like, the shade names, the packaging, like, could be fun, playful, and comedic. But, like, overall, it needs to be, like, wow. Like, if you're going to do it, you got to go...
Which is so funny when you look at the color scheme of the conspiracy palette then, because it's actually not impressive at all.
Yeah. What if it was, like, in the shape of...
Ooh! What I should do when I'm doing the conspiracy palette is buy the last episode, buy the palette. Like, get it on eBay or something and, like, try it out. Again, I don't use, like, eyeshadow makeup, but we can get it and try it out.
An Illuminati stuff. Or what if it was in the shape of something kind of weird like that, but it had, like, a hypnotic, like, white and black style?
Yeah.
When you open it...
Again, this is all stuff that they ended up doing, so I just don't believe this was their first time talking about it, I'll be honest.
I'm, like, ready to buy it right now.
Really?
All jokes
That's kinda
aside,
cool, right?
it sounds fucking sick. Yeah.
How long does it take to actually make that?
Like, if we started today from scratch, you could probably get it out in 6 or 7 months.
Wow, that's a long time. Well, guys, if you want a 500-part series... No, wait, I actually think this would be interesting because we could make this palette and we could document the process of
Oh my god, almost like they talked about this before!
coming up with the ideas, making the actual palette, making them...
Almost like they needed a series beforehand to kind of clear Jeffree's name from the controversies to then be able to sell the palette to maximum amount of people.
Marketing, doing like commercials.
No
like,
one
all
has ever,
campaigns.
okay, so no one has ever shown the real behind the scenes of how create a product from zero to an idea on a piece of paper to it's in your hand ready to be shipped. No one's ever done that.
Oh my god. Well, we should do it not only to show full process, but like, I
To make the most amount of money. Go on, Shane, say what you want to say, babe.
want to be honest. I want to show like if it fails or succeeds. Like, I want to show like the launch day. Like, what does that mean? Do I have to go on tour with makeup? Do I have to like do that whole thing? We throw a party. I said it. We throw a fucking launch party, bitch. Like all the makeup gurus. And she's like, this is my party. It's like literally just us. Oh my god, the Canadian writers are dressed in like
me, so it'll probably just be your crew and me name.
So there we go. We have Jeffree saying, everyone hates me, so it'll just be your people and my people. Which is funny because that's what this series was about. It was making more people love Jeffree so that the launch could be Shane's huge reach and then Jeffree's reach put together with Jeffree's expertise in makeup, Shane's capabilities with the audience, and then Shane making people like Jeffree enough to be able to support his makeup. Okay? Are we getting it? Are we getting it? Are we getting it?
Okay, if it succeeds, how much do you think we're looking at?
We can cut for a second. Like, there's also this.
Ryland with the, if this succeeds, how much money are we looking at? And you're telling me that Ryland is just with Shane because he loves him so much. Listen, I believe that. I believe he's just with Shane because he loves him so much. No ulterior motives.
Sweet. Oh, you don't want to cut?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm just curious. So, like, if this were successful, how much do you think he could make?
Please.
It depends on, everything's all about the cost of goods, how expensive you want the packaging, how good you want the formula. Obviously, you would want something amazing that people could actually use and enjoy and want to maybe order again or just keep forever as a collector's item. So, it depends on how many units you could easily make, you know, millions in a day.
What?
There's that much money in makeup.
See how quiet Garrett is? I feel like Garrett has the most genuine reaction to this. He's kind of just like taking it
I
in.
guess there is. Yeah, you make.
Hi, you saw what's going on.
Yeah.
Brands never really want to tell you how many units. I've been very candid. Like when we launched Blood Sugar, we had 100,000 units and they were gone in instantly, in like 10, 20 minutes. So like that was such a big moment because that was my biggest launch to date. But I spent a lot of time knowing I'd never done clasps on their packaging before. It's like beautiful and the layout was stunning. And it was a game changer in this industry.
100,000 people bought those.
Yeah, and they're $52 a piece.
Does that mean though that you're fronting the cost of the 100,000 to be in stock?
So you would front the cost for half, and then you would pay later after you get it.
I know we could do test groups. Like we get a bunch of like makeup buyers, like kids, teenagers, whatever, like in a room, and we'll be like glass.
Wow.
Wait, that's fun.
All right, they didn't do any of that. But anyway, I think we've seen enough. So I did just want to show you that as like the closing to show that we've now told the audience that we will be making a makeup palette. But I want to know your opinion on this episode. I think it was super interesting. The Garrett thing with Jeffree really pissed me off though. The first thing, not the makeup lab thing too, but I mean the uncomfortableness as well. But Muckers, I love you. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know your opinion of it. We only have one more episode to go, which is crazy. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Please like, please subscribe, comment below. Let's talk about it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Mwah.